Cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
See, mic check, 1, 2, we on. Can you hear me? Holla if you hear me. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 104th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold, and welcome to the show. As y'all can see down below, man, my voice, I'm losing my voice right when I start the damn pod. Man. Yeah, as y'all can see down below, I got on my social, I got my handles. Y'all see, you guys will see, my handles swipe in and out. You might see a donation handle come through. If you want to feel generous, feel free to go ahead and donate to a worthy cause. But anywho, welcome to the show. Glad y'all can make it. Yeah, see I'm in the Bills headquarters, because I gotta address what's going on with these Bills. Because if anybody knows what's going on with these Bills, I know what's going on with these Bills. All right, because so Bills Mafia, if you guys are tuning in, be prepared. You're not going to like what I have to say. I'm just going to be realistic. I'm going to keep it a buck. But it is what it is. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Do all that fun internet stuff. Let me make sure my voice is sounding crispy over these internet waves. Let me just check my voice right quick. Let me just check on my audio right quick. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think it's a take, man. So we're going to go ahead and just proceed with the agenda. So let's go ahead and, how we do over here in Trippin with Theobold land. You know how we do over here. We gotta get things started off with the tongue twisties. We gotta get things going, get things popping with the tongue twisties. So, for those that don't know, I grew up with a stutter. It's not all the way gone. So catch me if you can. These tongue twisties help get the brain and the come on, Dre. See, I'm doing it right now. The brain. See, these tongue twisties help the brain and the tongue get coordinated, so there'll be less trippage. So I did some tripping right there, but we ain't going. Okay, let me stop bantering and just get on with these tongue twisties. So here we go. Okay. Why am I not seeing? Oh yeah, duh. I forgot about you gotta hook up all your doodads and gadgets. Got my mom made that word up, doodad. Like, what the hell is a doodad, mom? Like, come on, man. But yeah, I got all these doodads and trinkets on here, so I gotta make sure y'all can see my phone. Make sure you guys don't see the porn phone. Can't show you all my goodies. Pause. That sounded weird. Let me just get this up right quick. Go to here we go. No, I don't want that. I want this. Come on, cooperate with me. Work with me. There we go. Tongue twisties. Here we go. So you guys can't see them yet because I have to transfer or make sure that I transition the image over. So here we go. I got my tongue twisties there. So let me just slide it over a little bit so you guys can see it. And bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Okay, let's read these tongue twisties. So, like I said before, or if you guys don't know how we do things over here in Trippin with Theobold land, you can read along with me, or you can watch me struggle. So here we go. J. So today's the 10th of November. That's why we're doing tongue twisties that start with the letter J. So here we go. James jostled Jean while Jean jostled Joan. Say it with me. James jostled Jean while Jean jostled Joan. James jostled Jean while Jean jostled Joan. Number 2. A gentle judge judges justly. A gentle judge judges justly. One more again. A gentle judge judges justly. James jostled Gene while Gene jostled Joan. That didn't. Yeah, they're jostling each other. Jostle. What the hell does jostle mean? What does jostled mean? James jostled Gene while Gene jostled Joan. They jostling each other. Remix. One more time. Let me stop messing around. James jostled Gene while Gene jostled Joan. Number 4. Gene, Joan, George, and Gerald judged generally. They judging at all this damn jostling. Okay, that didn't make any sense. That was weird. Here we go. Gene Jones. I'm messing up right now. Gene, Joan, George, and Gerald judged generally. I gotta keep my neck still while I'm doing these, man. That's OJ. Come on, Dre, stop this OJ acting. I gotta cut that out. Here we go. Gene, Joan, George, and Gerald judged generally. Last one. John Johnson joined jealous Jenny Jerry making apple jelly. I like how that kind of flowed. John Johnson joined jealous Jenny Jerry making apple jelly. Last time, here we go. John Johnson joined jealous Jenny Jerry making apple jelly. And the tongue twisties are done. We're done. We made it. Yay. So thank y'all for tuning in to that part of the show. You guys enjoyed that. Please let the comment section know. If not, we're going to move along. We're going to move along regardless. You know, I'm just trying to create some internet traffic here. But okay, whatever. So we did tongue twisties. Now, we got some promo. I got to do. So here we go. Sunday, November 12th. If you live in the SoCal area, specifically, if you live in the Pasadena area, my babe's gonna be at a flea market, or at this huge flea market. It's a very prestigious flea market out here in Pasadena, the Rose Bowl Flea Market. She will be selling her fashions out there. So you guys are in the area, please pull up. You know, it's gonna be a dope event. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna pull up. You know what I'm saying? There are no tickets sold at the door. So I believe if you go on Eventbrite, you can look up the Rose Bowl Flea Market to get more information. Or if you want, what I'll do too is in the comment section, I will put a link to the Eventbrite so you can get your ticket for the Rose Bowl Flea Market. It's a huge flea market. It's a very, very big deal out here. And this thing starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, man. 5 a.m. It goes from 5 to 4 p.m. So my babe gonna be out there super early in the morning. It's gonna be dark probably when she out there, but it's gonna be a fun time. So if you guys are out in the area, make sure you guys pull up and come buy some gear, come buy some stuff. You know, it's gonna be fun. And what else we got going on? Got to talk about this. So yesterday, you know, this picture's not really a good picture, but actually I forgot when I took this a few days ago. But I was walking by the Laugh Factory in Hollywood and saw this big poster up of Matt Rife. Matt Rife finally has a Netflix special that's coming out. He had I think he had 2 other specials that he did on YouTube, and he killed the numbers, did his thing, did well. So why am I promoting this? Well, one, I think dude is funny, you know. Matt put in work. And not only that, he's in my comedy class, you know. So when I first moved out to California in 2013, I submitted to this festival. I got into the Bay Area Comedy Festival, Bay Area Comedy Competition Festival. And I was in the same heat as Matt in this festival, and I went up right before him. So it's pretty humbling to, you know, be in a competition or a contest or a festival with someone way back, and you know, they blow up. Like, he blew up, you know what I'm saying? So not to toot my own horn. Like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I kind of got things popping in that festival. Kind of, right? I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to boast, but I kind of got things popping from my recollection, you know. And then Matt went up and destroyed it, and he placed. I didn't place in the festival, but I gotta talk about this festival right quick, man. So my comedy class is a really dope comedy class, man. Lance Woods is in my class, or I'm in his class because these guys have the weight. So I was in the same class as Lance Woods, Matt Rife, Noah Gardensworth, Rip Michaels. Yeah, it was a pretty heavy class, So let me go ahead and recant this right quick, right? So in the Bay Area Festival, what happened was, excuse me, I think my clip is still up there. I think because I was trying to so come on, Dre. So what I did was I brought my own equipment, or I brought my own camera to tape my set. And when I wanted to tape my own set, they were like, "Nah, you can't do that. You have to pay like $25, and then we'll send you the tape later." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I paid the money to get my tape recorded, or to get my set recorded, and they muted the crowd audio. Like if you listen carefully to the audio in the crowd, you can hear people in that joint like dying. Like they're like shouting. It sounds like I'm making excuses, but I'm not. Matter of fact, what I should do is I should find that clip and play it just to prove it, right? But you guys can look it up. But anyways, man, I remember that festival. It was real. Stakes were high, because at the time Matt was like really young. I think Matt may have been like 16, if that, maybe 17. I don't know. He was real young. But I remember he had like a guardian or someone that had to come with him. It could have been his manager back then. It could have been, I don't know who that was, but he basically was like, he had to have a guardian or someone there with him. So so what happened, man? So yeah, so in the festival, we all shot these little interviews before we went up. And man, yeah, my interview, I was talking all this big time shit, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make it. Whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna make it. I forgot what I said, but basically it was they were asking us like, what are our goals, what are our aspirations, and it was real dope. It was a dope festival. I wish they kept doing it because it's very, very prestigious. A lot of winners in the past, or participants in the past, were who was in that contest. Jamie Foxx was in that contest. I think he won it one year. And then who else was in that contest? Jamie Foxx was in that contest. I want to say Mike Epps was in it. I think he won it one year. So there was like a lot of like dope talent that was in that contest, But anyways, in the festival, we in my heat, or the day that we all went up, we were like in this like dugout area kind of to the side of the stage. It was like you had to go down these stairs, and there was like a dugout to the side of the stage, and a lot of the comics that were down there getting ready to go up, we were all down there, and as soon as a comic went through, we would listen to the door to see, if we could hear what was going on. And we could hear them, we could hear them do their jokes, but we couldn't hear the audience. So we'd be like, oh man. No one, nobody was talking bad about any comedian, but we were like, when like someone went on stage and we heard them start talking, because you only had like 5 minutes, and when you heard them start talking into the microphone, or when they started their set, you put your ear to the door in the hallway, and you could hear them, but a lot of times you didn't hear. It's like you didn't hear the audience, So, so I was getting nervous. I was like, yo, this is gonna be crazy, yo. So I remember Matt was down there, and he was to the side at this little desk, and he had his headphones on. I could tell he was nervous as shit. He was sitting there with his headphones on, he was just focused, Like this dude was like really focused, And I was like half in the room, like joking around, but I was also like, yo, okay, I'm next. So finally, when I went up, I just was like, yo, whatever. I'm just giving them everything I got, man. And I had like a lot of energy. And when I was on stage, once again, not to toot my own horn, I could not hear myself talking to the microphone because it was like that loud when people were like laughing, like I couldn't hear myself really do my jokes. Like I could feel the floor like rumbling, you know? So I felt pretty good about my set when I got done. And then after that, like Matt went up and killed it, and I think Matt either got second or third in that contest. And what's crazy is I was at another spot last night and I saw the guy, what's the guy? This is I saw the second place or the third place winner in that contest last night. And it's crazy because like he was like, "Oh yeah, you were in that like I haven't seen him for like 10 years." And it's crazy how, you see people at different skill levels at different times in life, and then some people blow up like Matt. Matt's huge right now, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Matt. I'm gonna definitely check out his special, yeah, it's dope, man. It's like crazy. Like I said, like when you're right around something and then you see somebody pop, man, that shit is crazy, you know? But what was I gonna say? I think I'm gonna land my plane on that, So once again, not sure when the special comes out. I'm trying to look on the billboard, but I can't see it. But when you guys see it on Netflix, definitely check it out. But yeah, so shout out to Matt. Now, let's go ahead and get on to the main topic of the show. We're gonna get into the main, we're gonna get into the crux of one thing I wanted to say about the that's what I wanted to say. One thing about the competition. So I did something right in that festival because I got hit up by HBO the cold read for a TV series that you guys may have heard of called Ballers. And I was hit up to cold read for the part of Ricky. So I'm not sure what they saw in my stand-up set to make me think I could play the part of Ricky, or if they saw my interview. I think that's what it was. I think they saw my interview and they were like, yo, this dude could probably play Ricky, But as y'all know, that went to John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son. So great series, great show. At the time, I had no idea what that series was going to be called. Like that was like my introduction to Hollywood. I was like, what The Rock is doing a TV series on about football players, ballers. I'm like it sounded weird at the time, but it's a dope show. Me and my girl binged it, man. It's a dope series. So check out Ballers when you get the chance. Anywho, that's that. So now let me go ahead and get on with the main part of the show. All right, let me go and get on with the main portion of the show right quick. So, what is wrong with the Buffalo Bills? All right, what's wrong with the Bills? I've been a Bills fan for a long time. All right, I cried through all 4 Super Bowls. I don't think I missed a Bills game on TV. All right, I seriously don't think I missed a Bills game on TV, And this is before DirecTV era. This is like when you used to drive to go watch the game somewhere else on satellite. I take it back. I did miss a game. I missed 2 games. I missed the Bills Colts game when Marshall Faulk played for the Colts back in the 90s. And I missed the Bills when they played the Chiefs back in that era because we were driving home from Buffalo and we drove past the stadium, had the game on the radio, and the game faded out. So I'm not going to take credit for watching those games, right? But I definitely followed up with ESPN and the highlights for that. But anyways, what's wrong with the Bills, man? All right, here we go. So I've been reading a lot of social media posts and listening to a lot of sports talk radios and a lot of football gurus and all the people that talk on TV, the Stephen A's and the Michael Lombardis, and I've been listening to all them cats, man. And to be honest, man, I'm very disappointed in their ability to surmise what is going on with the Bills, right? Because it's so blatantly obvious. All right, see, a lot of these sports talk dudes, they're just fans that jock ride. You know, they're just riders. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll wait until the team starts getting hot, and then they'll just jump on them and start talking about them and start praising them, right? Like for example, the Bengals, right? In week 1 through 3 with the Bengals, everything was either quiet or, you know, no one predicted that Joe Burrow would get it back together when he got it back together. You know, it was like once they beat the Niners, he's back. I'm like, man, sit y'all ass down. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Anywho, like I said, I'm disappointed in the in the coverage of the Bills. Really in all teams, right? Because like I said, they just kind of, when teams get hot, they talk well about that team and they talk about how that team can't be beat, but they don't talk about teams that have the tools and the ingredients to win, but they themselves are holding themselves back. Like they never talk about that. You know what I mean? So they got a lot of loud people outside, you know, trying to work here, you know, trying to put out a good product. But anyways, here's what's wrong with the Bills, man. So from the fan base and the owner down, the problem with the Bills is ego. It's ego. Right? A lot of people say, oh, it's the coaching, it's the coaching. Well, the coaching is the symptom, but the root cause of the Bills' underperformance is ego. Right? It's ego. So essentially, we're trying to win the way that Jim Kelly couldn't. Right? And this is no shade to Jim Kelly in the 90s era's Bills. Those teams were great. Those are my heroes. Those are my idols. You know, I'm not gonna say my idols, but those are my heroes. Those are my legends. But we're trying to win the way that he couldn't. Right? They insisted on Jim Kelly dropping back and just throwing that ball. You know, and we had Thurman Thomas, and Marv Levy had enough common sense to you know, get Thurman the ball the way he could and get somewhat of a running game going, you know? But at the end of the day, we were going to live or die on the arm of Jim Kelly. Right? That's why, you know, and it wasn't as bad back then, but when the Bills were looking for a quarterback for all the years after the Jim Kelly era, there was some verbiage, or there was some like verbiage that was out there, right? And the underlying verbiage was, we got to have a big body quarterback with a big arm that can throw the ball, that can cut through the cold winds of Buffalo in January and December. So, got Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen a lot. Big body quarterback, big arm. But where did that get us last year versus the Bengals? In Orchard Park, in Highmark Stadium, where did that get us? We couldn't run the ball. We were like 3 and outs. Where did that get us? Right? So the problem is ego. You know, they are, I'm gonna say it like this right now. The Bills have the tools and the talent to win a championship this year. I said it. The Bills have the ability to win the Super Bowl this year. They have it. Even with Matt Milano out. Like, Matt Milano's a huge loss, you know, but the Bills have the talent and the ability to win the Super Bowl this year. But they're not going to, because the ego is in the way. Our ego is in the way. Right? Like, I'm not even going to pull the numbers up because you already know the numbers, right? If you look at the Bengals game from last week, if you look at the box score, and if you look at rushing attempts, Bills tried to run the ball 8 times with 2 different running backs. And I took out Josh Allen's rushing because that doesn't count, right? Because, I mean, it's good that when he runs, here's the thing, right? You don't want Josh Allen running, right? So I'm taking that out. But the Bills had 2 running backs, 4 carries apiece. And between those 2 running backs, between those 8 carries, they were able to get 4.3 yards. They were able to average 4.3 yards a carry. 4.3 yards a carry is not bad. Like, if you run that down to the ground, right? If you think about it, right? If you get 4.5 yards on first down, 4.5 on second down, it's now 3rd and 1, right? And if you want to go 3rd and 1, you can go tush push if you have to, right? But I think if you got the running backs more involved in the game. So I made this argument to somebody last week, and they told me, their response was, the Bills aren't built to run the ball. I'm like, no, they're not built to run the ball like the Patriots, or they're not built to run the ball like the Steelers. But we have some sort of run attack that we're not even tapping into. It's like, why waste a pick on James Cook if you're not going to use him? Like, I think James Cook is way better than Jahmyr Gibbs. I think if you put James Cook as a feature back on a team where he gets 20, 25 carries a game, he'll get you 100. He'll get you a buck 50, a buck 65 a game easily. You know, but that's the problem, man. Is ego, right? Like, they're insistent that the way we're gonna win is we're gonna win through Josh Allen. Right? It's kind of like when Josh Allen plays hero ball, it looks pretty, it looks fun, it's energetic. I get it, it sells tickets, but that's not sustainable. And we've seen that time and time again. Right? It's like Steph Curry. I mean, it's like, just follow the analogy, okay? It's like Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry does a lot of long distance shots, a lot of crazy passes. Like, he plays, very flashy, but he also turns the ball over a lot. You know what I'm saying? If some of those turnovers got under control, maybe they would have another championship. I don't know. But that's a bad example because they already won a championship, or they won championships. But we haven't won anything, right? And it's like, I think we're trying to fit the mold of Jim Kelly. Like, we're trying to, like, if you go back and look at Super Bowl 25, right? It took me a while to realize what I was watching. But Super Bowl 25 was a great game, but Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick, who was a defensive coordinator at the time, had us gamed up, right? Like, if you look at the Bills, right, the Bills back in that era, the Bills, before they made their first Super Bowl run, they were putting up like 50 points on Cats. Like, we were the Kansas City Chiefs of the AFC, essentially, right? We were the best team in the AFC, like we were running the score up on everybody, and Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells, they knew, right? They knew that if they got into a shootout with us, that, they would lose because they had Jeff Hostetler, who wasn't really a gunslinger like that. So what did they do? They played solid defense, and they ran the hell out of Otis Anderson, and they slowed the game up, and they kept us under 20 points, right? And we lost 19-20. So I'm just saying, I'm saying it right now. At the end of the day, you can get mad at the coaching all you want to. It's not really coaching, it's philosophy, right? Like, we're showing that we have the ability to run the ball, but we choose not to run the ball. That's what no one's bringing up in the media, right? It's not that Buffalo can't run the ball, it's we don't run the ball. I could see if we tried to run the ball 20, 25 times in a game and we had like a 2.5 yards per carry or 2 yards a carry or something like that, and we were going 3 and outs, that's different. The numbers are there. We're putting up numbers, just we don't want to be patient. That's the problem, right? Because we want it all to come through Josh Allen. And if we ran the ball like I know we're capable of running the ball, everything else would open up for Josh Allen, and his throws would be a lot easier. Everything would be a whole lot easier. He'd have more chances at them downfield plays to hit Diggs, and everybody will be open, But, until we get over our ego and say, you know what, maybe we have to find other ways to win. Like I said, I mean, Josh Allen gives us our best chance to win, but if he plays like that all the time, it's going to backfire. And then when you have nothing else to fall back on, we lose. And you can see it in the team's energy, you can see it in the body language and everything. You can see it in the play calling. So Sean McDermott, if you listening, do me a favor, man. Or do Bills Mafia a favor. Let's try to get 20 to 25 rushing attempts in a game, you know? Now, don't do this half-ass running to say, oh, well, we ran the ball and we just can't. Nah. Run the ball like we need to run the ball and watch everything open up. Everything gonna open up. Right? So that's the problem with the Bills, man. It's not that we're not good enough. It's not that we're not built to win a championship. It's just philosophy. It's philosophy. You know, like we should be focusing on trying to get James Cook. Like we should be trying to have like different focal points for each game. Like, you know what? Let's try to actually have the game go through James Cook one game. Just keep feeding him the rock and keep letting him do his thing. Like that game last year versus the Bears. Like, remember in the Bears game last year, James Cook got off, man, because we were just feeding him. You know? And then maybe have another game where, but here's what Buffalo's gonna do. And I kind of know what here's what Buffalo's gonna do. Right? And I already see it, right? Because Brandon Beane, I kind of see what Brandon Beane's already doing. Right? Like basically we know that Gabe Davis's contract is almost up and we're not going to be able to afford to keep him next year. So we traded up in the draft and we got Dalton Kincaid. And Dalton Kincaid is a receiving tight end, right? He's not used for blocking. He's kind of like, if you look at it, he kind of runs the same routes or is a similar build height as Gabe Davis. So what's going to start happening is they're going to, and you're seeing it now, but you're seeing the targets go up for Dalton Kincaid. So they're going to try to get in this whole pass catch situation with Dalton Kincaid, and we're going to try to be like the Chiefs. That's what the Bills are going to try to do. They're going to try to make Dalton Kincaid into Travis Kelce, you know, which I don't think is a bad idea. You know, it's a higher probability throw, right? His routes don't have to be as great as like a Stephon Diggs or Khalil Shakur. You know, he doesn't have, like, the routes don't have to be as crisp. And so Dalton Kincaid has a bigger catch radius, and, you know, he's an easier person to find when you're trying to throw on the run, you know? So my prediction is this, is the Bills aren't going to try to really run the ball. They're going to say, oh, we just can't run the ball, or we're not built to run the ball. They're not going to try to run. And then they're going to go to Dalton Kincaid, and he's going to be the guy that gets all the targets. And it's going to look pretty. It's going to look nice for a while. But what's going to happen is that when you keep doing all that, and you focus everything on one player, and that one player gets hurt or dinged up, now you got to try to find offense from somewhere else, you know? But if you got the run game going, everything would be open. You'd have more options. Like, they should have a thing where, like, if I was coaching the Bills, man, like, whether we lost the coin toss or not, our opening drive, everything will be run, RPO, bubble screens to the running back, because I'm going to show you that I can control the clock, and I'm going to show you that we can push the ball, we can rush the ball down the field and get a touchdown. And then my next drive, I'm going to let Josh Allen do his thing and go off and say, look, I can beat you. Either we can beat you slow or we can beat you fast. You take your pick. But when you come out, and it's a thing too, man, like, here's the thing, right? With Matt Milano being out, you would think that the Bills would humble themselves and run the ball more to protect the defense, right? Because if your offense is on the field longer and you eat up the time of possession, right, your defense is out there less, meaning that now your guys are more rested, and you might have a player that has more focus and more energy to make a play to create a turnover or to get a stop with Matt Milano being gone. But the more the defense is on the field, the more they're gonna get cooked because we don't have our best players out there, you know? So anyways, that's it, man. Like I said, the Bills have the tools and the talent to win the Super Bowl, but they got to get over this ego where everything has to go through Josh Allen. All right? Like everything does not have to go through Josh Allen. But they're insisting it. They're forcing it. And the more they force it, you know, the more we're going to get let down. And then it's always going to be, now we're in this seesaw predicament where, oh, is it coaching? Do we got to fight? I mean, yeah, Dorsey, I don't care for Dorsey's play calling, but if they ran the ball more, you know, here's the thing, right? Dorsey's play calling to me sucks. Like I don't really get his play calling. Like to me, I feel like he's playing Madden. A lot of these coaches ain't really like coaching. They playing Madden, right? They're playing Madden with real people, right? There's no way in the hell you're supposed to have like, I mean, I don't know. I just don't get it. On first down, you go empty backfield, shotgun. That's telling the defense what the hell you doing. You're going to throw the ball. So what do you think is going to happen? They're going to drop 8 men into coverage, and now you're going to force Josh to have to throw into double coverage, which is going to probably be a pick, right? Bad play calling. And then when you get down to the goal line, I'm willing to put $100 on this. So if y'all are listening to this, fuck it. I'm willing to put $100. I'm willing to put $100 on this. I don't think this season, when the Bills were on the goal line getting ready to score, I don't think they ever went play action. I don't think they went play action one time. All right? If they ran the ball and went play action, everything would be open. But, you know, when I say sorry, let me correct that. I don't think they went play action throw. I think they may have did like a naked boot one time and Josh ran it in. But I don't think I've seen a whole lot of play action on the goal line. So to me, that's just bad. That's just poor offensive. That's just poor play calling. You know, like I know, you know, when you play Madden or when you play something else, you got to make sure that you keep the defense in check to make sure that they respect the run. So the first play, you try to run it up the middle. When they stuff it, you know, they're going to try to block it again, but then someone's going to be open if you go play action. So the one thing I did like about the Bengals game, though, was they, I guess they tried to go like West Coast offense to where they tried to kind of, you know, do long handoffs where you dump the ball, where you throw the ball. But I mean, no, we just got to run the ball. Like when we lined up and when we handed the ball off to James Cook and Latavius Murray, we got 4.3 yards of carry on only 8 attempts. Now, bro, you got to run that to the ground, man. Make them lower that YPR or that wides per. I can't even talk. Make them lower that YPA, right? That yards per average. Make the defense force them to lower that number. So it is what it is, man. I'm managing expectations. I'm not getting my hopes up, right? Like I can tell, like right when the Bills line up, what they're gonna do. That's how much Buffalo Bills football I've watched. When I see how they lining up, I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers don't get it. Okay, they scored a touchdown, good. Okay, they scored a touchdown, that's great. But they ain't going like, okay, if we win the game, great. But when we got to get up against a top-notch team and we try that shit, we gonna get smacked in the mouth. I already know what's coming. So, Bills Mafia, Coach McDermott, Josh Allen, man, y'all need to get over y'all egos, man. Get over y'all egos and run that fucking ball, man. Stop playing. You know? And here's where I'm at right now, right? Like if they're still trying to do what they've been doing all year long, you can clean house. I don't give a fuck. Clean house. Because if they don't get it now, they're not gonna get it. If they don't get it now, and if they didn't get it last year, they're not gonna get it moving forward. You know? And That Chiefs game in the playoffs, that should have taught us something, right? That 13-second game. When you throw the ball around like that and you can't run the ball and control the clock, that's what the fuck gonna happen. It's just common sense, man. You know? So I'm really rooting for the coaching staff and everyone to just get over their ego and say, you know what? We're gonna try to balance the team out more and try to give other people to step up to give us a better chance to give us an opportunity at winning. Right? Like Josh has a great arm. Josh, to me, is impressive. His arm talent is impressive, but it's not necessary, right? I think that, you know, what I'm more impressed with, what I would be more impressed with Josh Allen is if he managed the game better, you know? Like if he managed it better and put people in positions to where they could help us win, you know? Like I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to see him drop back and throw that ball around, man, but it's just you can only do that but so much. Like I remember what Super Bowl was that? It was a Super Bowl where it was the Bears. Was the Bears? No, it was the Saints and Colts Super Bowl, right? It was Peyton Manning's second Super Bowl with the Colts. The one I think where Prince played the halftime show. I think it was in Miami, right? But man, on that final drive when Peyton Manning was marching down the field and he was just doing throw. When they went empty backfield and they were just throwing, me and my boy said, man, we sat back and we were watching that. And we were like, man, you already know what's coming. You already know what's coming. When you dropping back like that and you are in a hurry up and you're dropping back like that, the defense is just waiting on you. And lo and behold, what happened? Pick. I think it was a pick six, right? And that the end of the game I think it was a pick six. So same thing. If you open up the game or you come out with no backs in your backfield and you just spread everybody out, it's only a matter of time before they catch up. So it is what it is. Like I said, I think we have the tools and talent to win it all, but we got to get over the ego, man. We got to get over that ego. All right? We got other tools on the team that we can use to help us win. But if we don't want to do it, then just scrap it and start over again. That's where I'm at. All right, cool. So before you go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. Excuse me. But oh yeah, I got my Damar Hamlin jersey on. I saw something in the media today where I think it was Amani, what's that guy's name? On ESPN, I think he's either on Fox or ESPN. But he was saying like he thinks it's time, or I read somewhere where I think it's time, where they said they think it's time that we stop all the Damar Hamlin talk. You know, it's like he's alive, everything is good, you guys can stop celebrating. Okay, it's over. Then I read the comments and I was like, all the comments were like, yeah, it's time to hang it up. It's time to just let it go. Hang it up. It's over. It's done. Move on. And I don't really think people realize how serious that situation was. You know what I'm saying? To have a football player potentially die on the football field, that shit would have killed the NFL. It would have killed football, sports as we know it. Like if people can see, it's like this, right? It shouldn't take action or something bad happening for people to realize what shit can look like. You know, like for example, with the whole Ray Rice situation, right? With Ray Rice, when he knocked out his wife, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, when they hear domestic violence, they just say, when you read about it, when you just read domestic violence charge or whatever, you just say, oh, like a lot of people think, okay, push and shove or whatever it is. And like no one really visually sees, or no one really visually comprehends what that could possibly mean. But then when the video came out, everybody was like, oh, that's bad. Oh man, you need to go ahead and lock him under the jail. He needs to go ahead and just be done with his whole career, you know? But nah, motherfucker, that's what domestic violence look like. Like, I don't condone it, but that's what it looks like, you know? So it shouldn't take. So my whole point in saying this is the visuals have impact on things, right? Like the way things look, like visually, like sets a tone. It sets a precedence, you know? So if you had a player in the NFL die in a football game on the field, man, you would have probably seen like a lot of people retire probably after that, right? You would have probably seen college players, some college coaches be like, you know what, making a living at this, but I'm not really cut from this. I don't want to go out and see or potentially see someone die on the field. You know, you're gonna have moms and dads go pull their son out of football. Like, yeah, man, like, yeah, we're not playing football. And football, like the Damar Hamlin situation could have killed football. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful that the brother's alive, man, because that shit just didn't look right when I was watching the game live. You know what I'm saying? And to say, okay, we can stop talking about it and just brush it under the rug, like it hasn't even been a year, right? So I think people need to kind of, like, this is kind of a healing process, you know? People got to talk about it, man. People got to, like, you know, show their gratitude, you know, and like spread the word, you know? But to just kind of sweep it under the rug and say, okay, we done. Let's get back to playing football. That shit is over. It was a once in a million thing. Okay, well, it happened. So if it happened once, it can happen again. You know, we don't want it to, but I think we need to be a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? We need to be a little more reverent, a little more. We need to be like a little more sensitive to that, man. You know. Like the way I look at it is if you can celebrate somebody's life, then why not? You know, like what's the harm in that? If you can celebrate the fact that someone is here when the odds were that they shouldn't be here, why can't we celebrate it? You know, I think people need to be a little more respectful of that, you know, because if things went the other way and he wasn't here anymore, you would see a real hard hit to the NFL. Like you would see like a lot of like the NFL would be on the decline. I would definitely go out on a limb and say that, you know. So, but this is social media. This is the media. People can say what they want. I don't give a shit. But I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. It doesn't bother me. You know, I'm glad that the brother's still around. They want to talk about this 5 years from now and have like a celebration once a year to commemorate it. I'm all for it, you know. But whatever. We're in this weird, super sensitive era where people don't want to see shit and they want to complain, you know. So it is what it is. Yeah, I just brought that up, man, because I kind of saw that and I just read all the comments and I was hoping to see one comment that was like, hey man, we should be happy, like we should be happy about this. But everyone was like, yeah, I agree. It's time to hang it up. It's time to let it go. You know? It's like when 9/11 happened, you know, a super tragic event. It's like everyone every year is like, oh, we will never forget, right? We will never forget this tragedy. Why can't we never forget a miracle that happened? You know? Like, why can't we apply it to being thankful for something? You know, it is Thanksgiving almost, right? So that's just my 2 cents on that. What else we got going on, man? So let's go ahead and get into the we're gonna go ahead and get into the stutter centric part of the show. You know, as y'all know, I started to do some investigations, or some investigation on the National Stutters Association website. Had a lot of questions. gave myself a homework assignment last week. I said I was going to send an email out to ask them specifically, how do they come up with that number? Like, how do they come up with the number of stutters in the world and in the US, right? So I believe they said was roughly 1% of the US population like stutters, or that's like the number, that's the rough count. So I didn't send the email out, but I did some more investigation on my own. And what I found was basically what I deduced from how they what I found out with how they deduce or come up with this number is, your parents basically, if the parents think that their child has like a speech issue, they'll take them to a speech pathologist. And then from there, the speech pathologist will do some tests, and then he'll kind of they'll diagnose whether or not this child has a stutter or not, or stutters or not, and then they take that number and then they add it to the database for keeping tally on the total number of people that stutter, So with that being said, there's probably a lot of parents that that saw there was something wrong with their kid when it came to speech. They they had a stutter or whatever, and then they went to see a speech therapist or a pathologist, or they didn't go. So my whole thing is, the ones that didn't go, how do you count those? How does that get worked into the count, right? So are they using some sort of estimation theory to kind of figure out, okay, well, in this area, if X number of people stutter, and then, was there an offset case where, Y percentage of people never went to a speech therapist or a pathologist and got diagnosed? I don't know. Like to me, the number just doesn't. I'm all about proof, right? Prove your number, So I think it's more than that, but that's just my theory. I think it's more than what they say. To what magnitude, I don't know, but I think there's more, because the guidelines for how they come up with the criteria and for how they actually are counting people isn't really well known. So anywho, let's go ahead and get on the website right quick. I want to actually do some sleuthing, like one of the Hardy Boys. I want to get on here and see what else we can find out. Let me pull this up. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff. Like the old people say. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to pull up this website. There we go, got it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and transition over. So let's go ahead and dig around some more, do some more sleuthing. There we go. What am I looking at now? Playing around here. Oh, I'm being an idiot. I'm trying to click on my screen, but I'm really supposed to click on my phone. But here we go. Okay, so let's start with About Us. About Us. Says go to our work. Okay, it says we provide. Come on, Dre. We provide continued support, top tier resources, and the latest information to all members of the stuttering community. PWS, professionals, family. What's PWS? Interesting. What is PWS? I'm guessing it's person with stutter. Let's see what that says. PWS acronym. Doop. Performance work statement. Nope. Okay, let's try this. Here we go. Yeah, people who stutter, PWS. I got it right. I'm smart. What else? We also continue to advocate for better understanding of stuttering and the needs of PWS and serve as a referral organization for speech therapy resources when desired. Our story. So they got started in 1977. The NSA, that's interesting. It's NSA, right? So it's not NSA, but it's the NSA, you know? Since 1977, the NSA has been enhancing the lives of people who stutter, educating the public, assisting speech professionals, championing research, and advocating for a reduction in the stigma of stuttering. I appreciate the effort, but I ain't seen none of that. You know, not trying to be mean, but like I don't like when I'm in the work environment or when I'm, you know, out places or whatever, you don't really see people explaining or like you don't really see it out there like that, you know? I mean, which is why I'm putting it out here right now, you know, so people know what people can individually go through, you know? But that's interesting, you know? Like that's their aim. It says since 1977. So, and it's interesting. I wonder how many people even know about this site in general, you know, or the organization. Just curious. So 45 years of empowerment, $146,000 funded to research. Man, that's a DraftKings winning. Like I could, man, that's crazy. Like I could win that in DraftKings, and that's how much got funded to research. And I wonder what the research is. I wonder if they, it's interesting. I wonder like, what does that go to? Does that go towards like, the 146, that's not a lot if you think about it, you know, because if you got like people that are doctors doing research, studying all this stuff, $146,000 funded to research. It's like, are people doing this for free? Like, I mean, I got questions. So you got 174 chapters nationwide. Interesting. Our mission. The National Stuttering Association is the largest nonprofit organization in the world dedicated to bringing hope and empowerment to children and adults who stutter, their families, and professionals through support, education, advocacy, and research. Our vision is to build upon our position as the preeminent organization for supporting people who stutter. Let me see. Our annual conference and nationwide network of more than 150 self-help support groups. Yada, NSA is a trusted resource for explaining the causes, treatment, myths, and facts about stuttering. Our educational materials are used by speech professionals, teachers, employers, families, and medical professionals. So, question is, has there ever been anyone that overcame it? You know, and then how do they like? Do they study that person? Do they like advertise that person, you know, to say, hey, look, or is that information even available? Like, hey, this person was here and now they're here. Now we can diagnose them as not having it anymore. I don't know, just asking questions. Over the past 2 decades, NSA has taken a leadership role in the advancement of knowledge of stuttering. We proudly support high quality, innovative stuttering research by offering research funded opportunities. Okay. Learn more. I saw something else on the site. Yeah, I want to see the history. So interesting. 1977, it was founded by Bob Goldman and Michael Sugarman, with early efforts focusing on community outreach, education, and advocacy programs. So it got started in 1977. 84 was their first conference. 88 was in 88, thanks to the advocacy of a group of members and their local representatives, President Ronald Reagan signed a proclamation establishing the second week of May as National Stutter. You mean to tell me that for all my life, every second week of May is or has been National Stuttering Awareness Week, and it's not on no calendar. This is I don't know, man. I feel kind of weird about this, man. Like, I'm not trying to be negative, man, but I'm just like, yo, how come I never knew about this? Like I had to go on the website to get the information, you know? But it's like not out there. It's not like in your face. So I'm marking that on my calendar from now on. Every second week in May is National Stuttering Awareness Week, and I'm gonna make sure I tie that in with the podcast so we talk about those things. You know? See, 1996, the NSA declared 1996 the year of the child who stutters and hosted symposia around the country focusing on the diagnosis and treatment of young people who stutter. Okay. So let me see if I can find some documentation on that, because that might give more insight as to how they diagnose people, right? 2001 was the first joint symposium for scientists and consumers. Yeah, I got to get involved in this. I want to start going to these little conferences to see what they're doing. This event focused on building partnerships and fostering collaboration between researchers and clinicians. Yeah, those are the people you gotta talk to. Yeah, I gotta see what's those. Ever since 2001, in 2011, yeah, there's a great movie. 2011 saw the debut of The King's Speech, the award-winning film depicting King George VI and his trials with being thrust onto the throne as a person who stutters. Much anticipated keynote speaker for our 2011 annual conference in Fort Worth, Texas was David Seidler, Academy Award winner. Okay, so he played the widely successful film and surrounding press shone a spotlight on stuttering. Okay, interesting. Okay, 2014, the smaller regional event held in Anaheim. Okay, and then 2017 marked 40 years of bringing hope, support, and empowerment to people who stutter. The NSA's rich history reflects on unwavering commitment to helping people who stutter, their families, and clinicians who serve them. The organization's history of growth shows the success of our mission and outreach programs as we work to spread our message of hope, dignity, support, education, and empowerment. Okay. What I'm looking for a hub where they just have all the research at. That's what I'm trying to find. Like, where can I get pointed to, find like what are they working on? Like, what are some journals or whatever it is? Let me see. Get involved, join a chapter, upcoming events. I'll do that eventually, but I want to look at resources. Learn, career success. Okay, find a therapist for adults who study. Yeah, we're going to walk through each of these different pieces of the website, because this is to me, this website basically is saying, hey, look, we're the foundation of this. You know what I'm saying? We're like, this is where you come to get the information. So I'm gonna come here. So I'm gonna keep coming back to this site weekly to find what I'm looking for. Is I want to find research material where like they have a thesis where they say, look, we have this theory and we're trying to prove this through science or through whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I want to do that and break those down and, you know, learn about this a whole lot more, you know? So that's what I want to do. But anyway, let me go ahead and put this off right quick. Move this to the side. So yeah, I want to do a little reflection right quick. I want to talk about the earliest memory I have of when I became aware of my stutter, right? I want to kind of go back and reflect a little bit. Like, the earliest memory I have is when I think I was either in the first grade or second grade. I was at Julia Brown Montessori School in Laurel, Maryland. And it was at recess. I remember we were outside playing at recess. And we used to have these concrete drums that were empty that were like laying on the playground. Like, you could like climb through the joint. They were big. They were like big drums, right? These big round. I don't know why, but I remember these these cement drums being like brown, and we were at recess, and I think there was an upperclassman, and I want to say Jessica Raziman. I want to say her name. I think it's her. I forgot, but the name Jessica Raziman sounds like it might not have been her. It might have been somebody else, but it was an upperclassman, third grader, and they weren't like trying to make fun of me or nothing like that. It was like she was like a third grader. I think I was in the first grade, or I was in kindergarten. I forgot, but we were playing this game, and we had to like go and like bring back acorns or whatever, So we had to go around the playground and like find these acorns. And I remember I brought back a handful of acorns, and either I brought some back or I couldn't find them. I can't remember, but I remember distinctly saying, "Hey, I got the acorns," but what came out was a acorn, And then this third grader that was older, that was upperclassman, was like amused, and they were like, "Say that again, do it again." And all of a sudden, all these other kids started coming around. They were like, "Oh, do it again," as if it was like funny or as if it was cute. You know what I'm saying? I just kept, and I wasn't trying to say it like that. It was just that's just what came out. So they weren't like laughing at me. It was kind of like, "Oh, that's cool. Hey, keep doing that. Hey, man, hey, keep doing that." Right? That's like the one. That's the first memory I have of it. It was like weird. It was like at first I couldn't control it, but then I was trying to do it again, but I couldn't. And then it was like I was trying to I felt like I was trying to artificially induce the stutter to make it sound the exact same way as I made it sound before, And that's just my first memory. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I put that out into the universe. Well, I know why I did. Now it's out there, So if 100 or 2,000 years go by, this story will still be out there, and someone will be like, "Oh man, he put that story out there. I had the same experience," or not, you know. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into the some quick DFS right quick. See what DraftKings ain't doing for me. Man, I thought I figured this shit out, man. I thought I was on my way to the big bucks, man. Had a good week last week. Over the weekend, I won about $100 over the weekend, and then Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. Was it Monday night? Who played Monday night? Yeah, Monday night when it was the Jets and the Chargers. Man, I was close, man. I thought I was gonna take home a couple racks, man, but instead I took home about 100. So I made about $200 from Sunday through Monday. But let me just go ahead and show y'all right quick, man, what I did. I thought I had the shit, and these NBA motherfuckers ain't doing nothing, man. I'm looking at NBA DraftKings tiers. Hey, man, this. I thought I had it figured out, man. So here's what I did for. Actually, let me show you my Millie Maker right quick. So for the Millie Maker, this is what a player did, man. So I came in 6,400 place out of how many people? Let me see how many people it was. It was what's the contest size? Let me see the specifics, the details. Yeah, it was 177,000 people. So out of 177,000 people, I came in. Where's that? That's the flea flicker. I want what's the Millie Maker? I just had the Millie Maker up here. Yeah, here it is. Out of 177,000 people, I came in 6,480th place. And let me. I forgot you guys can't see this. I'm gonna pull it up here so you guys can see. Here's what I did, man. All right, I'm getting better. I'm getting closer. I came in 6,400. I came in 6,480th place out of 178,000 people. I was 80 points out of the Millie. You know, I didn't know CJ Stroud was going to do what he did, man. So I think if you're a Texans fan, that's what you played, you know. So if you're a Texans fan and you have some common sense, you probably ended up with the Millie, you know. Um, but nah, all my players hit with the exception of Christian Watson, man. Christian motherfucking Watson, man. Oh man, I'm so pissed because I drafted him first overall. Not first overall. I drafted him as my wide receiver one in like 2 of my fantasy leagues, and he's killing me right now. I can't trade for him. Just can't drop him. You know, so I'm stuck with him. You know, so I'm not even flexing him at this point. You know, because it's like I got other people on the bench that are doing more. So I got to. I'm hoping for a game where he pops off. Pause. And you know, I can get a sucker trade for him, you know? But all I did to come up with these numbers, man, or my picks were I looked at just the opportunities that players were given, right? It's all about I'm all about looking at the opportunities, right? Like I'm looking for a spike and I'm looking for a max spike in any statistical category for any player, right? Like once I see like a max target or a max number of catches or a max number of rushing yards or whatever, I'm playing that, you know, because it's all about getting a rhythm, you know. So that's what I did for the Millie Maker. Let me see what else did I do. Then for the Monday night joint, Monday night I was getting close, you know. So I figured something out for Monday night. Tried the same strategy for Thursday night, didn't quite work out, but I was still pretty close to getting in the green. But look at this, for the Captain Showdown mode, I finished in 160. Sorry, it was a massive tie, but I finished in 176th place. Well, there's a lot of people that finished in 176th place, but I finished in 176th place. How many people were in this competition? Details. Yeah, so wow. So out of 160,000 people, roughly, I finished in 176th place. So, that's what that shit looks like. I was 7 points out of 20 grand. 7 points out of 20 grand. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm getting close. Like my strategy, I'm getting close, you know. And once and I know a lot of you guys are getting antsy, like, hey, well, if you're getting close, then hey, what is your strategy? Be patient. All right. I got to get paid first, right? I got to get my money first. You know what I'm saying? So once I get my money, I'm gonna help y'all get y'all money. All right. So basically, once I have like a proof of, so right now I'm in the proof of concept phase of how I pick my players, right? Once I get into the proof of concept phase or whatever, and I start to really rack in money, I'll start to drop hints and drop clues as to how to do this shit, because it's really easy, man. It's really easy. Like yeah, you got to play multiple lineups, but it's not to the extreme. Like a lot of people say, man, you gotta take $1,000 and you gotta play as many. Nah, it's real simple. It's like you can probably, if you give me 5 entries, I can crack one of them joints. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but look at that. I'm close. I'm getting close. Your boy's getting close. Yeah, I'm gonna crack one of these before the end of the year, yo. You got to speak it into existence. I'm gonna crack one of these, man. I mean, I was only what I was, and in my other lineups, I had Conklin in my other lineup, so it's not like I even had Conklin, but I didn't have him in this lineup. You know, I had Davis instead. So yeah, so anywho, that's what I'm doing. Let me see what's going on with NBA. NBA is really killing me right now, man. These dudes is really killing me right now. Like I thought I had it all figured out for NBA. Let me see. Let me look at it live right quick. Yeah, I'm not winning no money. Let me see who's not doing what. Okay, I still got a lot of time though. Let me see who's not doing the end of the bargain. Okay, I got Embiid right. Marketing can catch Cunningham and Russell Westbrook. Okay. Oh nah, I'm still in the game. Tyrese Maxey though. I'm not winning shit. Look at Maxey. Maxey done put up. He about to get a double too. He about to put up 60 tonight. And Kyle Kuzma only got 20. Yeah, that's what's killing me is Maxey and Kuzma. That's what's killing me. But everybody else can win. I can get Marketing can definitely get Cunningham. I still got AD. So I might be able to come up with $8 a night, man. But damn, I thought Kuzma just did something. Shit. It'd be nice if he had a double coming, but it doesn't look like it. All I can hope for is a overtime from the Wizards and Hornets game. But I'm not doing as bad as I thought I was. It looks worse when you actually see it with the bubble on the map. But it is what it is. Let me see what's going on this weekend. So yeah, once I said so, let me go ahead. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with any more DFS talk. Like I said, I'm figuring things out. I'm getting closer. You don't have to spend buku bread, right? You don't have to spend buku money or buku bread to play crazy lineups and just hope to get lucky. Nah, you got to strategically look at shit, you know. And I'm getting close, man. I'm honing in. I'm honing in on getting what I want to get. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's been the episode. That's been the 104th episode of Trippin' with Theobold. Bills Mafia, Mr. Pagula, or the Pagulas, Sean McDermott. Let's lose the ego, all right? Let's stop trying to win through Josh Allen 100% of the time, you know? Let's stop trying to put him in situations where he has to play hero ball because you see how it's going to work out. It's going to get our hopes up just to let us back down. All right? Don't forget, this Sunday is the Rose Bowl flea market. Make sure you get your ticket. It's only online. It's only available online. I'm going to put the link in my comment section or in the information section. So if you want to grab a ticket and go to the Rose Bowl flea market, go down there and knock yourself out. I'm gonna go pull up. I'm gonna support, you know. And with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in to the 104th episode of Trippin' with Theobold. We're coming close to episode 106, where I'm going to have to do a 688 special edition episode. So be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, between time, that's all, folks. I'm out of here. Peace. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.